Hey guys, cooldomino here. This will be a short video on how to remove a pulley wheel on a Thunderbolt blower. Either this will be on the motor end or be on the blower end. Pretty much the same thing. You can see here, this is on the motor end right here. This is a C series actually Thunderbolt blower motor. C series Thunderbolt blower motor right here, but I'm going to be converting it to a B series. You can see the pulley wheel is a C series. You can see how thin it is, and it's a two groove. But this B series is basically the 3 groove and are larger as well. Each groove is larger. Because the traditional A or B series blower belt will not fit on this pulley wheel right here. So I'm converting it to the B series right here, and we're going to go ahead and get started shortly. So the tools you're going to need is you're going to need a socket of some site. And now this might vary depending on the blower you have or the pulley wheel or whatever. This has to be a socket that fits onto these bolts right here on the pulley wheel. So you're going to need that. You're also going to need a socket wrench though. You may use a drill if they're pretty stubborn though, but I don't recommend it though. Or impact wrench here. But you may use one if they're either pretty stubborn though, but you may risk breaking the bolt heads. If that happens, just drill them out. That's what I did one time. You also need an Allen wrench. Now again, this varies in size depending on the pulley wheel. It's for the set screw. You think it'd be the set screw? It'd be simple to remove the set screw, pull the top thing off, and nope, not gonna be that simple. Because this is a split tapered bushing right here. If you put the pulley wheel on, they tension it up right here. This tensions up right here, squeezing the shaft a little bit, and basically that holds this on nice and strong. You also might want to get yourself a can of penetrating oil or PB Blaster. I typically use this one right here, but I heard Liquid Wrench is another good brand, so I never tried Liquid Wrench, but I would be interested to test that. Any kind of penetrating oil would work though, and some sort of iron or something. So I'm not going to use that today because I took this off several times. So you also might want a bearing puller, depending on how stubborn the bushing is to get off. Like, you don't need it for the actual pulley wheel, you just need it for the bushing. And you don't really need that if you're planning on keeping the bushing on. But if you're taking the reason, well, you might want to find out why you might want to take this pulley wheel out. Either what you're going to do is you're going to basically inspect the motor, or you're going to convert it or something or whatever. Basically, this is a 1 3/8 inch shaft right here. For those who don't know, and on the blower end is a 7/8 inch shaft. So in that case, we're going to go ahead and get started. Now the first thing, if this is the first time taking off your pulley wheel and it's pretty rusted like this one is right here, I would recommend taking a can of PB Blaster and just penetrate these bolt heads. Let them sit for a couple hours, then come back to it after a couple hours. Depending on how rusted they are, you might want to put some more on. So what you want to do, the first thing you want to do is you want to grab your socket wrench right here. Make sure it's on lefty-loosey, or lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. And basically what you want to do is you want to undo these bolt heads right here. They're pretty stubborn. You may use an impact wrench or something to get them started. Go ahead and undo all of them. And I'm just going to loosen them in my hand. So this might take a while though. But sometimes these threads get a little weird sometimes though, so you might have to use a wrench or impact wrench multiple times though, or impact driver. Coming off right here, yes, the capacitor bank on this thing is exposed because I need a 40 microfarad capacitor for up there. But that's for a different time now. I'm not powering it or anything, I'm just showing you how to replace the pulley wheel. Now you got the screws out. You may use a bearing puller, but I recommend doing it this way instead. This thing is tight on there because again it's a tapered bushing. So what you want to do, locate the holes you just took them out. You took them out of these threaded holes right here. These are through holes on the pulley wheel, but threaded on the bushing. What you want to do is you want to take that out and put it in your threaded hole on the pulley wheel or on your bushing, depending on which way it is. If the bushing side is facing this way, you want to thread them in. Regardless, you want to use the threaded holes. So basically, after you find one threaded hole, skip a hole and then go into the next hole, like so. Now just finger tighten them in until you touch the back of the bushing. Well, what's just going to do is going to jack the pulley wheel off. This is called a quick disconnect design right here. Now these are designed to go on either way though. So like you say, you're going to turn the whole pulley wheel and bushing assembly 180 degrees and it should work. Not 180 degrees like this though, but 180 degrees, like flip the whole thing around. Like flipping, not rotating it. Now you want to use righty-tighty on this thing. Basically, you're just going to tighten these down nice and evenly. So you're going to do that there, like that. Now this is pushing the bushing off the pulley wheel. Just go nice and even, give each one like a quarter turn. Now you might want to have someone else or maybe hold on to this as well, or find some way to lock this up while you're doing this too. Also recommend wearing gloves because the penetrating oil gets messy if you're using penetrating oil. So just kind of work at them nice and even, and it should come undone. And I'll get right back to you when this is about to pop off. Now these are starting to get a little easier to do. That's because the pulley wheel is removing it from this tapered part of the bushing. Now you can see it's just coming right off now. Now once you feel this getting super easy like this, like you see how easy that is, you can just use one of the screws. And now, get your pulley wheel off. Now go ahead and set this off this side for now. Now this is the bushing right here. Now this might be a little dirty from the penetrating oil, so you can clean it up with a paper towel or something. You might want to use you can take an Allen wrench, get this set screw like half a turn or something, maybe even a full turn if needed. And now this is ready to be, now this is ready to be pulled off right here. So you might want a bearing puller depending on how rusted this is. You might want to put some more penetrating oil in here as well and let it sit for a couple hours. But since I took this off before, it should slide off easily. Now this is the key right here, square key. If you want to take this off, you can. You don't have to. Sometimes your square key can be a little stubborn, but this that's not coming off, so I'm going to leave it on for now. But I might be taking it off again sometime in the future. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video, and I'm going to show you how to put it back on. So, if your square key's out, go ahead and just tap it in place like that. Then what you want to do, take your bushing right here. This is the bushing right here. You can see there's two sets of holes on here. And now looking at the pulley wheel, just got this over here. Now you can take these screws out if you wish, because you're going to have to anyways though. I'm going to use an impact wrench to get these screws out, just speed things up a little bit for the sake of this video. Yeah, it's a lot faster to out this way. If you do use an impact wrench to tighten and loosen it, make sure you zip them in or zip them out very evenly. You know, not so much taking the screws out, but when you put them in to jack this off though, that's when you want to go nice and even. That's why I recommend using a hand tool, so you go nice and even, quarter turns, something like that. So yeah, now this is an interesting part right here. The bushing only goes on one way. So I'm going to show you right here. Basically, this is the pulley wheel. Now say this is a B series or something, or you're taking it out to clean it or something or whatever. This bushing only goes in one way. So you can see it doesn't go in like that, but it does go in like that. Right there. Now it doesn't matter which way you put this on the shaft. You can put it on like this, or you can put it on like this. I like to put it on like this, so it's easier to take the pulley wheel off if needed though. So, in that case, I'm going to pull this off again, roll this out the way, and basically, it's the square key. If you don't have a square key, just measure the key in the motor shaft, and you can be able to find it at Ace Hardware or something. And basically, go ahead and take this pulley wheel, slide it back on. Now, this is depending on where your belts are located from the compressor in, you might want to slide this back and forth and find that fine tune. Once you find that fine tune, go ahead and tighten down your set screw right here. You're basically doing everything but backwards. And get the set screw in. There you go. Now take your pulley wheel. Remember, this only goes on one way. So you want to see the part number, or you want to flip the bushing around. Or if you don't want to see the part number, you're going to do it either way. If you already don't care. I can see it didn't go on that first time though, but I'm going to put it on. Fits on there nicely. Now do not use a hammer to tap this in, because you can cockeye it and you might miss the screws and you have to redo everything, which is kind of a pain. So on the bushing, on the pulley wheel right here, you want to use the through holes, not the threaded holes, the through holes right here. Go ahead and slide this in place. Now put them into the threaded holes on the bushing. Like that. So basically you're tightening them down. Just like that. Now spin that around. And once you find your first through hole, go ahead and skip a hole. And then put them in all the way. And just try to finger tighten them in all the way first time. If not, you may use a impact wrench, but again, be very careful with the impact wrench, because you don't want to snap these off and have to drill it out. because it's really not a pain in the butt. Now that one's getting a little stubborn though, so I'm just going to use this wrench right here. Tighten it in. Now once these starting to push the pulley wheel in, like sandwiching it together, like basically these screws right here are pushing the pulley wheel into the bushing right here, which is pretty cool. So you're going to continue to tighten them. You're going to tighten them down all the way. Nice, make sure nice and snug. It's like one full turn on each one, maybe even a quarter turn when you get closer. So these can be a little tricky. This can be a tricky part. Getting this even is really tricky sometimes because you want to get it nice and balanced. Now, I heard sometimes on some pulley wheels, you're gonna need a longer bushing. Like this is the C series bushing, you might want a B series or AC series bushing. So you can just get those on eBay probably. There's a post on the siren board that talks about the bushing still. I'll leave that in the link in the description. And basically what you want to do is you want to simply tighten these down as much as you can basically. But remember, make sure you go nice and even because you don't want this thing to get cockeyed and you don't want to throw it off balance. Once you put one in, the other two might get easier. You want to close the gap between the bushing and the pulley wheel as much as you can. Once you feel like they're not going that much anymore, you can stop and basically you should be good to go. And that is how you replace the pulley wheel or take the pulley wheel off and put it back on. Now if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments down below. I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day.